Hello there. Welcome back, innocent domesticators. I am Vox Syreni. Hi. Before anything else, we're gonna test because it's been a while since I last did an art stream. I haven't used this setup in a while, and I was a teacher since. And yeah, so just gonna make sure is the audio coming through clearly. That hope it is. If it isn't, we'll figure it out. Yes. Um, yeah. Testing, testing. Hello? Am I being heard? Is this going well? Um, this is right micro. It's see cut me out a bit. So what I was saying was that I've been having some tech issues, so let's make sure everything works first. I am currently testing the audio levels and stuff like that, so please chat. Bear with me. Is everything coming through clearly? Um, is it cutting me out now, or am I doing well? I hope that my voice gets through to the microphone loud and clearly. If it doesn't, then I'm very sorry. Yeah, that might have been it. So is everything going all right? It sounds okay. Uh, that is good. Then I guess we can get started on what we were doing, what we're supposed to be doing. It's I I'm planning to draw Brianna Ghey, and I may not pronounce that correctly, in which case I'm sorry. But she was a transgender woman at the age of 16. Um, she was a TikToker, an influencer, um, and well, she lost her life recently. Also, hello, I am Vox Syreni. I'm a small time YouTube streamer, and I'm a transgender woman. English is not my first language, and I may have trouble finding the right synonyms or to word what I'm trying to say tonight. There's a lot of things that's gonna be coming over. I will also say this, that I am not a professional. I do not have a background in social studies or like gender psychology or anything like that. I can only speak of this from on these issues that I'm gonna go over while I'm drawing this. In brain work with me in terms that is befitting of a transgender perspective. Um, I will do my best. I have a lot of experience being trans and dealing with anti-trans rhetoric and the like. So, at the very least, there's a lot of personal experience, even if I'm not a professional. I may make mistakes, and this is a very, very painful topic. I may cry, but I will try my best. So, going back to Brianna Ghey, she was a 16-year-old girl, and she was recently murdered by two 15-year-olds. And that is quite the tragedy. She was, as I said, an influencer. Um, she did she did videos on TikTok. I didn't follow her personally, so I don't know what her content was about. What I do know is that she was publicly trans, and she was proud of herself, of being trans, and that is likely what brought people's attention to her. and that's probably why it had to happen, or why it happened. I did not know Brianna Ghey, um, neither as a fan or personally, and I am honestly unsure what to say. Um, I'm very unsure what to say. Um, what do you even say in these kinds of situations? Like, I don't, I don't know. Um, all I know is that from what I understand, we had a few things in common. We're both trans. We're both proud of who we are. And we're both willing to be public about it. Um, so yeah, when you are a public figure, like Brianna Ghey was, when you're being public in any shape or form as a trans person, you put yourself at risk. That's a fact. With the current landscape, with how discrimination forms and stuff like that, you put yourself at risk. People will come and people will try to hurt you. And it's just, it's sadly the kind of world we live in. So, let's start off by talking about, well, the thing that really frustrates me in terms of what is going on with the Brianna Ghey situation, it's the dead naming and misgendering upon her death. Brianna Ghey is being misgendered on her death certificate. She's being misgendered and dead named by pieces like articles by the I forgot what they're called. They're called something Times. I'm sorry. She's gone, and with how the British legal system works, her parents can't even have her have the gravestone say to our beloved daughter, because the legal documentation forces them to treat her as if she was male, and that's really not okay. Like the anti-trans movements has taken Brianna Ghey from this world way too early, and now they want to bury who she is. They won't even give her the dignity in her death to be who she is, and that is just straight up not okay. I'm sorry, but I'm this is not okay. It's absolutely not okay, and I feel scared and horrified for the trans community in general. I'm I don't know what to say. In the description, I have a lot of different sources. There's also a source for self-help. If you're in crisis or you need something, there are some links to. There is a link to like a collection of queer positive mental health things, but also Brianna Ghey's GoFundMe page. Please donate. Please help her. Help this community fund project to try and make the official documentation for Brianna Ghey. stay stay true to who she is. Help them change that she won't be dead named and or misgendered on her death certificate or her gravestone. Please, please do. So yeah. Trying to figure out how to do this. Foreshortening is generally difficult. Honest. But I'm trying. I'm trying my best. Here, from what I can tell, Brianna Ghey seemed like a really cool person. And I'm sure that she will be very missed. This is a lot. And, you know, I just... So, I know, I'm having a hard time putting together my words. I'm having a hard time saying what I'm trying to say. Because it's hard, it's difficult. It's just not... It's not okay what's happened. It's not. And Brianna deserves dignity in her death. And I will say it as many times as it is needed. Her name is Brianna Ghey. That is who she was. So, I want to segue into other topics, or not related topics. I want to talk about how this happened and why we need to stand together and not let this continue. And that is, and to do that, I'll need to talk about and I'm gonna underline this seriously, not hyperbolically, not exaggerated, seriously. I'm gonna have to say this word. Genocide. It's genocide. What the trans community is experiencing at the moment is genocide. Over the span of 5 days alone during February, and I'm gonna mispronounce some of these names. I am very sorry. I am not fluent in every language across the world. But a Ryan Kesia Bittencourt Nugurira, age 23, was murdered the 15th February 2023, Porto Real, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. She was beaten and strangled. February 14, Ruby Farah, 30 years old, Carabello, Lima. She was in Peru. She was shot. February 12th, 2023, Sofia Goncalves from Patos de Minas Gerais, Brazil. They were also shot. Mishi, 12 February 2023, Kohat Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in Pakistan, shot. Ayla Sophia in Belém, Brazil, stabbed. Veronica Manganese, 23 years old, Ponsaco Pisa, Italy. Suicide. Brianna Ghey, 16 years old, Warrington, Cheshire, United Kingdom. She was stabbed. La Pajara, 11 February, 22 years old, Barranquilla, Atlántico, Colombia. Shot and stabbed. An unknown person, 11 February, Fortaleza, Sierra, Brazil. 11 February 2023, Priscilla Aguado Rotaco in Chirilas, San Juan de Miraflores, Lima, Peru, shot. That's 5 days. That's 10 people murdered, 1 suicide, for a total of 11 deaths. All of them trans people. This is, as I said, it's genocide. I know that a lot of people will scoff at that. They will think I'm being hyperbolic, that I'm exaggerating. But that's why I'm willing to talk about it. That's why I'm sitting here, and I will try to explain to the best of my ability. You see, there's something most historians that are well versed in genocide will agree that what is going on right now is genocide. You don't have to take my word for it. I have sources down in the description. But let me try to explain it as best as I can. There are 10 stages of genocide. And like, trying here to keep things together. I'm not doing so well. It's very, how do I put it? It's like, it's a lot of things to think about, it's a lot of things to talk about, and drawing at the same time, maybe that, but yeah, this is, it's not, it's, I don't even know what, yeah, the 10 stages of genocide. Let's talk about them. They are as follows. Classification is the first stage. When classification are being done, they will identify the differences between people, and they will divide us. They will make an us versus them statement, and they will do so by excluding people and by using stereotypes to what's called, they will use stereotypes to alienate people. In this stage is the beginning of discrimination towards people. It is one of the more benign stages, but it's where it starts. At stage 2, symbolization. This is when we get visual manifestations of hatred. I don't like bringing it up because it makes me uncomfortable, but Jews in Nazi Europe were forced to wear yellow stars to show that they were different. This kind of marking of trying to separate and like othering other people. The way it's happened with trans people is that we have they have found symbols to represent us, to show us as different. Caricatures in meme culture, stuff like the multicolored trans stereotype, or whatever you want to call it, that is used to make fun of and to minimize us as people, to say that this is what a trans person looks like and this is what you can expect of them. This is not nice. Let's just put it like that. Of course, this is 2 different types of symbolization. The Jews wearing yellow stars and the symbols used to other ostracize and Otherwise, trans and queer people are different because they don't have the power to staple us with symbols. We're not gonna wear their symbols, but they're still doing it. Stage 3 is discrimination. This one is more clear cut. There is no denying that trans people have been discriminated against in a long list of things that we have a hard time getting the healthcare we need. A lot of people in different systems do not take us seriously. People, what's called, refuses to respect us, refuses to treat us with a bare minimum of dignity. They misgender us, they dead name us. Even in our death, they kill us. That's discrimination. 4, dehumanization. And to quote one of the hmd.org.uk, those perceived as different are treated with no form of human rights or personal dignity. Trans people are being dehumanized. They spread lies and they fearmonger about us. People like J.K. Rowling, Matt Walsh, Jordan Peterson, Steven Crowder will all say stuff like that we're actually perverts out to harm women and children. That's how they frame the discussion. That's how they want us to come across. They want us to be monsters, or they want us to be seen as monsters, so that we no longer are human, so that we can be treated as less than human. At stage 5 of genocide is organization. And again, I am not speaking on this topic as an expert. I'm speaking this topic as a trans person who has a lot of experience dealing with anti-trans bullshit. I'm not speaking as someone who has history background. I recommend looking at the sources below. But organizations are when regimes of hatred train those that are supposed to destroy a minority. And again, Matt Walsh, Jordan Peterson, Steven Crowder, all of these people, they talk. They use their online platforms to rile up people to create hatred, to hurt us. To create hatred, to hurt us. And, well, they're succeeding. They spread these falsities, these dehumanizing things, to make people hate us so much that they will harm us. They do this in a very, very modern way. They use the internet to be decentralized so that they can claim, so they can have what is called plausible deniability, which is when they can make it seem like they had nothing to do with it. Essentially, by riling up an audience of people on the internet, on YouTube, for instance, they can make people hate us so much that they will go out and harm us. But because these people do not actually know Matt Walsh in person, because it's a parasocial relationship, Matt Walsh can claim that he knew nothing about it, because he technically didn't. And then he can go off scot-free, no responsibility. And yet, we let him get away with sitting there and talking and saying the most horrible things about trans people, which are absolutely unjustified and absolutely just, it's just, sitting here, I'm really trying my best here. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this well enough, but I'm trying my best, as I said I would. Things are, as you may say, complicated, and It's hard to get all the right words out. At stage 6, polarization, that's when they spread propaganda. That's when they start forming proper groups. And considering the fact that Matt Walsh has large enough fan base, Matt Walsh is also, by the way, while we're at it, he's a fascist. He has said as much himself. He's a fascist. He's straight up a fascist. I don't know about Jordan Peterson, Stephen Crowd, and J.K. Rowling, where they stand in all this. J.K. Rowling is definitely a TERF, a trans-exclusionary radical feminist. But ultimately, Matt Walsh is a fascist. And his fan base are following a fascist, and his propaganda, his hate speech, propaganda like PragerU is also a good example of propaganda. They make videos on YouTube that are specifically designed to other and make light of trans people and our struggles. So definitely. You had some really cool hair, Brianna. You really did. And it's gonna be difficult to draw, but I'll try my best. I'm not that good with realism, honest. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to cartoonify this in a way that works for my art style. But I think I can do it. So yeah, I will figure out. Maybe that's not quite where that should be. Should have this here. At stage 7, that's preparation. That's when the genocide is being planned. They often use euphemisms to do so. If you don't know what a euphemism is, euphemisms in political discourse refers to when someone says something that means something else. They use coded language so that they can make it seem like things are nicer than they actually are. An example of this would be often in racism. I know there is a euphemism racist euphemism in American culture that goes something like, it's actually about it's actually about job security. We want tighter borders control because job security, and that's a euphemism. What they actually mean is, we want tighter border control because we don't like Mexicans. Because otherwise they would also need to have tighter border control up at Canada, which are white people. So it's like they say one thing so that they can get something done without saying why they want it done and why it's bad, without admitting that they are being discriminatory. When people like Matt Walsh starts to mobilize their people by creating their hatred and saying stuff like you should take action. He said that on many occasions. He has asked people to do the right thing in quotation marks and then harass people. I know he's done as much. That is an example of using a euphemism to make people do stuff, and they think they're doing it for a different reason than they're actually doing it. An example of this would be during the Roe v. Wade debacle. Matt Walsh asked his audience to call in and attack I don't remember if it was an academic facility that was doing research into abortions, or if it was just a medical facility. Either way, he asked his people to go and harass these people to prevent them from killing fetuses. And no matter where you stand on the abortion debate, I am, by the way, pro-abortion. Just so you know, because I am pro what is called bodily autonomy. But no matter where you are on that debate, it is not okay to harass people to get what you want, and asking people to call to get into action and hurt someone else to save life. That's the way that people like Matt Walsh mobilize and targets without having to literally control anyone from like an organization. Number 8 is persecution. That's when victims are being identified because of their minority. Death lists are being drawn up. Those definitely exist. I can just point to Kiwi Farm, which no longer exists. That was a website of people trying to see if they could make as many trans people commit suicide as possible. These groups do have death lists. They do have lists of trans people that they want to eliminate. 9 is extermination. The hate group starts murdering their victims. And sadly, looking at the situation and why I am doing this stream at all, that is where we are. I'd say no. We're at stage 10. Denial. The perpetrators will pretend that this is not genocide. The perpetrators and their supporters will pretend that this is not genocide, that this is not wrong, and that we are exaggerating. We are fearing for our lives, and we are not exaggerating. I can promise you that much. But they will try and make it sound like they will try and gaslight all of us into believing that this is not happening, but it is. It sadly and most seriously is. And again, don't take my word for it. Links down in the description. Also, hashtag her name is Brianna. So yeah. And yes, that's... Oh, this is not okay. So yeah. A little bit of alt-right rhetoric and white supremacist talking points. Their best option when you are facing people like that is to ignore them. Straight up, just ignore them. At least online. I cannot speak to in person because honestly, discrimination in person is horrifying, and I don't know how to approach that at all. But yeah, it's yeah. Anyways, getting into it. They will try and first off ignore them, because the more you engage them, the stronger they become. They don't care about winning the argument anyways. They just want to be able to share their talking points with whatever followers you might have. So all of it is just, it's absolutely meaningless to try and fight them on their own terms. And if you're ever engaged by transphobic or generally just with alt-right rhetoric, just do not engage. It is not worth it. Do not engage. That is all I can tell you to do. Do not, absolutely do not engage. More specifically though, brain work with me here.
brain never wants to work with me. It's always like, but yeah, ignore them. They will try and make accusations to make you play defense. Never play defense. If you want to know more about alt-right rhetoric, by the way, there is a really great series of YouTube videos by Innuendo Studios called the Alt-Right Playbook. There is a link down in the description. Where there is a video in that playlist called Never Play Defense that is talking about it. So if you want a more in-depth view on that, please go down there. But they will try and make you play defense. So never play defense. Never do what they want. They will accuse you so that you will have to explain and correct them. When you correct and explain, you give a detailed explanation that brings out all the talking points, and you probably address the issue of what they're saying, and then they'll make another accusation. They will point at something trivial in your explanation, like a particular word choice. They'll make a very wrong statement. They will try to accuse you again or something like that, and then you will have to explain why they're wrong again. But here's the thing: they try to win debates by looking like they're winning instead of actually winning. They will say something short, quippy, and wrong, and you will give them a long, detailed explanation correcting them, because there is no way that you can correct something about transphobia or racism or anything of this dislike in like a few strokes of a keyboard. Like, you have to explain it proper, and absolutely they will take advantage of that, because they will make it look like they're winning, because you're always in the defensive position and they will be in the dominant position. And by doing so, they can make it look like they're winning to the audience. And if the audience thinks they're winning, then the audience are more likely to listen to them. And that's the strategy. That's what they're gonna do. That is straight up the strategy. It is not an elegant strategy, but it is one that works for them. Because when you aren't saying something that's truthful, or something that is if you aren't saying anything that's truthful, anything that is good, anything that has some bearing in science or like proper sourcing or anything like that, you have to play dirty rhetorically to succeed. Which brings me to the next point. That's why I just don't engage them, because they will force you to play defense, and they will look like they're winning, and the audience, whoever watches this argument in public, might be drawn to their side. Don't engage. But that brings me to the next point. The Card Says Moves, which is also a video done by Innuendo Studios. Again, check down the description. And that's a really good example of how they play dirty and they don't really. So The Card Says Moves has its name from an episode of Seinfeld. I've never watched that show. But apparently one of the male characters, or a bunch of characters actually, are playing Trivial Pursuit, and one of the male characters is gotten a question, and that question is being read to him by Danny DeVito. I don't remember the question, but the guy who's supposed to answers. The answer is the mooks. And Danny DeVito replies back, no, it says moops. And then he replies back, it is the mooks. That's historically accurate. That must be a typo or a misprint. To which Danny DeVito retorts, I'm sorry, the card says moops. That is a rhetorical strategy used by these kinds of people. It is a very dishonest way of going about it, and I wanted to bring it up because I experienced this rhetoric recently myself while online. Someone told me that when I say that genocide, which it is, I hope that I have demonstrated that. If I have not done it very well, sources down in the description. No, that's offensive, because it's making light of real genocide, which again, this is real genocide. Um, we are not in the end game of genocide, but we also don't need to. This is some like I'm going back now, but we're not at the end game of this situation. We're at the beginning, or not the beginning. We're at stage 10, but like people being slaughtered. 10 people died in 5 days. Actually, 11 people died in 5 days, and um, um, we have not gotten to the point of being routed up like farm animals to a slaughterhouse. We have not gotten to that point yet. Hopefully, we'll never get to that point. But um, since all 10 of the 10 stages of genocide can be argued for what is going on right now, even if you don't think that it is the end conclusion of genocide, we're in the middle of it, and we need to do some prevention. At the very least, people are dying, and we need to do something about it. It's that simple. But yeah, going back to the cats and moves, said that it's offensive, and that's like when when minorities tells someone that's offensive, can you stop say that? They will always double down and tell you that no, you need to grow a thicker skin. So when we want someone to change their language, it's our fault for having for being weenie crybabies. But also, if we say something that they can that they can try and shut us up with, they will claim that we're being offensive. Basically, they want it both ways, so that they're always winning, and that's the cats' moves. Again, more detailed explanation of that down with the Innuendo Studios playlist in the description. There is a link. Please just check it out. They will also do a different strategy called the ship of Theseus. That's when they ship of Theseus a statement, not when we ship of Theseus a ship. That's a philosophical question. Basically, what it means is that they will change up the wording of what they're saying to a point where it no longer means what it's supposed to mean. Basically, they like to say things like oh, I can't come up with a good example. So I'm just gonna use the one Innuendo Studios used in their video, again down in the description. That one is that this person is sexist, is an example of ship of Theseus. Because, well, not always. Sometimes when someone says that, you need to take it very seriously. But when these people do it, they do it to try and accuse someone who isn't sexist, so that they can divide us and make so they can divide the left and make them attack each other. And it's really important that minorities and anti-discriminatory positions needs to work together in solidarity. So that's like really important. So like this person is sexist can be a ship of Theseus if by what the person meant when they said that was actually this person is anti-sex because they're prudish, which is like, that's not really what you said. No, but it's close enough that they like to twist the words like that. Honestly, I feel like I messed up this example. I feel like I that's what I also said at the beginning. I will make mistakes and I will have trouble with synonyms and I might say things the wrong way. So let me start over. The ship of Theseus is when the right wants to sneak right-wing attacks into leftist language so that they can make us think so that they can turn us against us. If a famous leftist person that they want to tear down by turning their audience against them, they will try to ship a thesis statement against them by, for example, claiming this person is sexist. But when you pick that apart, you figure out, oh wait, this person is not actually sexist. What they meant was this person is anti-sex, which that's weird, but okay. And then you make more research into it and you find out, actually no, they meant they're prudish, which is like, that's not the same as being anti-sex. And that has nothing to do with being sexist. And when you start breaking these things apart, you realize that a lot of the things that right-wingers will say to hurt the left, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's pseudo-intellectual language prettied up to make it sound genuine when it's actually just a bunch of nonsense. That's what it comes down to. A different example also from the Innuendo Studios. Again, check it down below in the description. Is the famous person doxed me. And what they meant by that is famous person shared my name online, which that can be a kind of doxing, by which they actually meant this person retweeted something that had my name in it, that I posted myself, by the way. That is also a way that they try to make famous people out to be bad people and have us attack each other. This is sadly a way to common tactic amongst these people, and this is again why don't engage. Don't give them a chance to spout their bullshit. It is a waste of time. That is basically what all of this comes down to. Why I'm mentioning all of this. It's a waste of time. Do not engage with them. Okay, I'm coming to the end of the list of things that I wanted to talk about here. So, give me a moment here. And that's the hashtag debacle. So I am not an African American. I am Asian in a white country, so I do know racism, but it's not the same. I'm trans, so I'm speaking from a trans perspective. But I want to touch on the hashtag debacle too. So when Brianna Ghey died, still don't like saying that. It just does not feel right. She was 16. That is just not all right. It's just not all right, you know? People started using hashtag say her name for her, which is a hashtag usually used about black women, or well, women of color who has been treated with police brutality in the US. And I had a knee-jerk reaction that wasn't very good. I was in the wrong. I did not post this online, by the way. I'm just gonna admit this to you guys here, that I felt in myself when I saw people saying that we should stop using. I was thinking, why can't we share it? Why? Is there anything wrong with that? And I regret having those thoughts. I didn't know a lot about the say her name hashtag before this debacle, by the way. I was ignorant. But I realized that if we started sharing that hashtag, we would dilute both movements, and also if any of the two movements would get more traffic than the other one would get drowned. And since the other movement expression is about women of color who's received police brutality but would otherwise have gone unrecognized, unseen, if not for that hashtag, any situation where we might take attention away from that is bad, and we should not invade of that space. We have a perfectly viable alternative hashtag her name is Brianna. By the way, hashtag her name is Brianna. And that's all we need. They're also really important is that there needs to be solidarity. There needs to be solidarity between minorities, so we can fight discrimination and bigotry together. And we can't have solidarity if we step on each other's toes. Essentially, we should not do that. So ultimately, even if we were in a situation where it was the right thing to do to share the hashtag, which it is not. By the way, I'm gonna stand. My foot is down. We should not share that hashtag because it's not ours to take. But even if it was okay, the fact that that people of color say, please don't do this, is more than enough a reason for us to stop. We don't need to understand or know why. It's not a good thing. All we need to know is that this bothers a different minority, and we do not and we should not step on them the same way we get stepped on. That's all there is to it. It's also come to my attention that the Trans Lives Matter hashtag results in a similar kind of sentiment from the Black Lives Matter community. So please do not use that hashtag either. I have a link down below in the description that does have Trans Lives Matter in its URL, and I'm sorry, I can't change the URL of a website that is mine. It is the website that lists that lists all the reported trans deaths. So I felt it was an important resource to have. I can't change its URL, I'm sorry. But don't use that hashtag, please don't. But yeah, so yeah, discourse between minorities is not a good idea. We need to stand together if we have to have any chance of fighting fascism and any kind of discrimination. And yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to talk about, and everything I actually have noted up here at least. So I guess all that is left is to finish my drawing, which I am realizing that I have not been continually working on a lot because I've been distracted by all of the issues and all the things to talk about. I'm not good at multitasking, let's just put it like that. But yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying my best here. I really, yeah, I really wish things were like better, but they're not. We are sadly in a situation where trans people are suffering, and it's just not good. But yeah, she had a pair of, go. Let's see here. Let's get her eyes in here. She's looking at the camera, so she's looking in this direction. I don't know, like, I'm kind of glad that there isn't a lot of people in chat right now. Not because I don't like having a chat, but I was afraid that I might get like, I'm not a famous influencer. I don't have any kind of reach, so I didn't expect anyone to come. If someone was to come, I was honestly expecting it to be bad actors out to mess with some trans people. I don't feel like being attacked in my chat right now. So So yeah. Can I? How do I do this in a good way? Let's get this here. Like, I don't have much experience drawing real life people, I've got to be honest. I mostly draw anime stuff and cartoon characters, so that's, as I said, I had a bit of a hard time trying to figure out how to do this. I, again, really don't know what to say, how to handle this situation, other than I really wish I could have done more. When stuff like this happens, I feel so powerless. I feel sad, I feel frustrated, I feel like there's nothing, like, what can you even do when something like this happens, right? And like, I'm just a random person on the internet, and I just wish I had the power to make a difference. You know? I need to resize the head. It needs to be bigger. Like so. It needs to be a little bit longer, I think. Like so. Yeah, but the hair needs to be shorter. Let's get the hair here. Because that needs to be like more like so. I'll get better at drawing eventually, but right now I'll need to figure out how to do this proper. There's just honestly, it's not fair in any way, shape, or form, especially not when it comes to people this young. I can't. Underline enough how awful this all just is. And I don't know. All I know is that the world isn't fair, and this is absolutely just not okay. And that, yeah, I really tried to say things and try and educate and do my best. I may not be super qualified for that, but I want to do my part, you know? Do my best, see if I could help in any way at all. I don't know if I make a difference right now. I don't know if anything I'm doing right now will matter or help. All I know is that I want to do whatever I can, however I can. Again, please go check out her GoFundMe. Her name is Brianna. Hashtag her name is Brianna. Just it's just not all right. None of this is. It's just. I spent the last many days wondering how we got here, how it ever got this far, and I don't know. I really don't. I wish I did, but I don't. I don't. I think let's see here. Let's just get. I also hope I'm being respectful. Like, I don't know if Brianna's family saw this and if they would think that I was being, if it was not okay for me to draw her, and in which case I'm very sorry. I hope I'm being respectful. It is supposed to be my attempt at helping, because I want to do something, and I feel so powerless in this absolutely unfair world of ours. I feel yeah, I really do feel all kinds of things. Not sure how to express all of my feelings. How to even put things into words. I'm sad. And I'm frustrated. You know? And I guess that's alright. It's alright to be sad. It's alright to be frustrated. I am very frustrated, very sad. And I just don't know how to So something I need to do here is make getting a good movement for a circle in general is just generally hard, especially because my hands are not exactly steady right now. But fine, that's nearly a steady one. That works out, and then I just need something that's getting something steady again is really, really hard. That works a lot better actually, getting like a thinner rim. I think is a lot works better, so let's try and replicate that. getting a line that feels like it has a little bit of confidence behind it. It's hard when you don't have any confidence to put behind the line. Going to go here, here, around here, and over here. That it works. It works. It's not the best right here. I feel like it could be a little better here. It could go like so. And here it has like definitely not enough confidence. Like so. But no, that works. That works. Let's get this back in here. Then let's get some more. Let's try and get something that's a little bit more like this. Said I have more experience with anime art styles, so let's try and give it a little bit of an anime flair. And that might work a little bit better. A bit, but also like, can I have you turned a little bit higher up here? Let's just see here, because I do want this here as well. That's a good looking eye. And then let's just cheat. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Let's just mirror and get this thing over here. That's beautiful. Now she looks, yeah, I need to fix that, but it's like, that's a very memeable image, but not exactly what I'm looking for. So let's get this here, then let's get this here, and then something like this. A little bit of this here. Let's get that there. Yeah, no, that works. Let's get a nose here. Maybe I should remove that so I can put the nose here. Like so. Let's get this here. She seemed like, looking at the reference picture I'm using, she seems so happy. She really did. Yeah. What do we even say at this point? I don't know what to say or what to do. I just know that I wanted to honor Brianna in some kind of way, and I'm trying my best to find that way. I know many trans people that wish they had the chances that Brianna had, realizing who you are as early as in your teenage years and getting to transition and like be who you were supposed to be, um, like that. I know trans people that wish they could do that, and that opportunity were taken away from her unfairly. She had a bright future ahead of her, supporting family, and like it's just, and now it's gone. It's just gone. It's just I'm sorry. It's it's yeah. I I'm sorry. It's just I I just don't understand why it had to happen the way it did. I just I don't I and it's just not fair. Mhm. It's just I I wish I could do more. I wish I had the power to make these kind of things go away, to bring back what was lost and to undo these tragedies. And I can't. I don't have that power. What I wouldn't give to save these lives. I I'm sorry. I don't really know what to say. I don't really I just at least I went through the list of topics that I wanted to touch on, but now I just am at loss for words. I put a lot of thought into the topics I want to cover, and I may not have known exactly how to express them, and I may have confused myself a little bit there in the middle. That's what happens when you are live in general. But yeah, it's just, it is like, let's see here. I need one last one here. Yeah, drawing hair from a real life photograph is definitely harder than working with cartoons. just do I get this thing here and then okay, can I, when you're just not satisfied with any of your lines, I want this to be a really good artwork. I think she deserved this much. She deserves better than I can give her. She deserves to not be dead named in her death certificate. Please go support her fundraiser. Please. Please. This here is like, see if I can get this thing here, like so. Then we have like that. Put this here down, and I want this here to go like. Yeah, I think that works. So let's get some let's get some stronger outline. I usually thicken up my line work ever so slightly, some places, to make it stronger, bolder, and make it pop better. As long as I can get some good lines at least. I still feel like I wish I could do more, but I can't. All I can do is pray and hope things go better in the future. All I can do is pray and hope that this won't happen again. And that Brianna will get some dignity in her death. Dignity that she deserves. Hashtag dignity for Brianna. Hashtag her name is Brianna. Her name is Brianna. And it's not up to them to take that away from her. It is not. This might be one of my better pieces to this day. I really like how it's turning out. So there's at least that. I'm sorry. How are you even supposed to say anything in these kinds of situations? Maybe I shouldn't have done the stream. Maybe No. I think it was the right thing to do. I don't have any reads. There's no one who's watching. But I wanted to say my piece, and I wanted to... I just wanted to do something. I couldn't just sit and do nothing. Could you sit and do nothing? Okay. Let's get some color in here, shall we? Start with some brown. Actually, I feel like I lack something in the line art, so let me fix that real quick. I absolutely forgot that part. Her shirt kind of has these. Yeah, that works. Let's get back into the coloration. She had absolutely stunning hair. I really think so. That's good, that's good. So I can get actually this here, up here, down here, up here. That works. There we go. Let's see here if I can't get this here somewhat right. So if I understand this correctly, this goes something like this. It's like goes down here. That's like looks like a really comfy sweater she's wearing. I'm looking at a reference video. You can easily find a reference picture I'm looking at right now if you just go into my sources. Thank you, Maddie. The art is turning out pretty well. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. It's nice. It's definitely nice. So yeah. Hashtag her name is Brianna. Just saying it again. I don't know if it helps. I'm kind of chanting it, but like her name is Brianna. I will say it as many times as it takes. I will shout it into the void. Her name is Brianna, and no one can take that away from her. Or rather, no one has the right to take that away from her. I will not sit still and let it happen. But yeah. Here this goes. I think it's a fine artwork. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should start talking a little bit about J.K. Rowling then. Kind of didn't want to get into her all too much, but I do not know what to talk about right now, and she was not on the list of talking points I had prepared. But J.K. Rowling is a huge influence in the United Kingdom. She is famous for writing the Wizarding books, and she is well known and liked for her work. And Harry Potter has been a cultural phenomena. But recently, she has come out and said the most horrible things about trans people. She has been punching down and tearing us apart using the same kind of rhetorics that the fascist Matt Walsh also spews, to a point where she's willing to work together with fascists to work against trans people. She's a feminist, and she's done some good for women in that regard, and I'm not gonna discredit that. But what she does against trans people is horrid and not alright. And anyone who's willing to stand together with fascists to hit an enemy of the fascists might have to look in the mirror and rethink what they're doing. Recently, a very popular game has hit the shelves. It is a what's it called? It's a it's a game set in that world that she has built in the franchise of Harry Potter. It's called Hogwarts Legacy, and it is very popular and it has sold very well. When people support J.K. Rowling, either monetarily, which it's or what's called my brain is not helping me today. either monetarily um, or by word of mouth, or just by keeping her relevant. She has she keeps a certain power, a certain influence, as long as we keep her relevant, as long as we keep letting her be the famous, amazing author that wrote Harry Potter. She will stand strong, and she will spearhead her talking points. And she will really hurt the trans community. So, despite how wonderful a story she might have told in Harry Potter, despite whatever good she may have done in the world, we can't let her destroy trans people. We can't. It's starting to look really good, I think. It is behind J.K. Rowling that a lot of British people, in their pride, stands firm in their anti-trans rhetoric. It is behind her that she has become spearhead for anti-trans rhetoric. She is a hate group figurehead at this point. And I wish it wasn't so. And my condolences to Harry Potter fans. It must hurt so much to know that a hero that has told a story that has had this kind of impact on you hurts people this badly. So yeah. About the two 15-year-olds that murdered Brianna, they indoctrinate people into hate groups younger and younger these days. These two people might have had a bright future ahead of them too, and now they have to deal with the consequences of their actions. I'm not gonna excuse what they did, and I'm not gonna sit here and say what they like. I hope I can word this correctly, but it hurts me. It hurts me that people so young can do things so horrid. That people so young can be manipulated into hating others so badly at an age so young. And it tells me that those who both manipulated 15-year-olds into murdering Brianna and murdered, those who, my brain is not working. Those who indoctrinated and manipulated these young people into being so hateful that they could commit murder, they have no shame. They don't care. They don't mind. They don't care, they don't mind. They'll brainwash 15-year-olds and they'll let 16-year-olds die. As long as it is to further their gender critical views, it's fine in their book, and I will not stand for it. I will not stand for it. It is not alright. Also, just again to clarify, those two 15-year-olds, may they be met with whatever justice they deserve. They are responsible for their actions, regardless of what hate groups may have affected them in their life. There's just no way, there's no coming back from murder. It is despicable. She was 16. I know I'm very stuck on the age right now, but like 16, that is just way too young. It's just not alright, you know? It's not. It's not. It's not. Art is not exactly easy, but it's really shaping up. Okay. It's a lot of work to make a good piece of art, but it can be worth it. I want this piece to be the best piece I've ever made. It's the least she deserves. It's just something that's just you can't just take away everything a person is in a single instance. I mean, apparently you can, but it's just not right. It's just not right. Okay. Getting there. Getting there. That works. Now let's she has some brown orange like hair, right? Something like this here. maybe I should have made it more orange. Like so. I think that works. Let's get this hair just right, shall we? Do you see something that I'm not entirely sure about? It's up here. Get back here. Can I get up here? Because like you know what? It looks fine the way it is. It's just that I see in the real artwork now that she has a bit of a curl up here. But I guess it's okay like this. Like it's a little bit simplified. But I think it works. And it's like yeah, really appreciate that you're there in chat, Maddie. It's just thanks. Thanks. Here we go. Almost there. Just almost. Boom, and the hair is done. Cool. Progress is being made, most definitely. Let's get on the glasses then, shall we? See here if I can't get these little details. Lined up and that's really good. Now for the eyes. She seems to have like some deep blue eyes. Can I get something a little more like that? Works. Okay, that really works. But yeah. Looks here. Move the background now. We can add in another piece. This one needs to be white. There we go. That works. And then we just need to add the chocolate bar. It looks like a Mars bar or something. Or is it a Twix? Doesn't like a good Twix. Maybe that here, or a little more like so. Yeah, that works better. Okay. Okay. Now I want this here. I want it to be big. I want it to be blue. Now I want it to be pink. A little bit. Then I need it to be white. That's okay. Now, one last thing needs to be done. So let's get that going. Shading. Maybe this one is not the best pen for the job. Let's see, what else do I have? This here. go. This works. Let's see here. If we can just get a little bit like so. This is like kind of neat. Let's keep going. Let's get a little bit here. Finally, just something here at the edge. It's really just it's like, and yeah, that I think kinda works. Just gonna add a little bit here as well. Mark her nose. Like, also gonna need to have a little bit here and here if I really want it to be feeling alive. The hair, let's just like, that's okay. And then here. Gonna get you down to a 24 as well. So I can get her to cast a shadow on the background behind her. That's like and that's it. So yeah, that is Brianna Ghey. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned something. And to anyone who was close to and loved Brianna Ghey, you have my condolences. Let's do our best to prevent something like this from happening again. Again, check all the links down below. I also recommend checking out the trans lives reports down below, or the trans murder reports down below. It is, like, as I said, 11 people over 5 days, but also, like, you'll be surprised. Trans people are dying daily, and it is painful. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will be spawning out. Goodbye.